In this video, we're going to look at the functions average, highest, which is maximum, lowest, which is minimum. We've already looked at those three functions, but this time around we're going to use those three functions with named ranges. So the focus in many ways is going to be on the use of named ranges, how to create named ranges, and then also how they work. Like when you look at our last class, we did in fact look at the average function. So if I click right here where it's 70, and this 70 represents the average of the quantity sold. If we wanted to really check it, we could quickly double left click it. And by double left clicking it, we can see that the quantity sold is equal to the average between the cells starting at B5 all the way to B16. So just keep in mind that range. So for the quantity sold, it's an average between the range B5 and B16. Now if we wanted to look at the average of the initial item cost, the answer is 52.40. But if we click in here and quickly double left click, once again we get another function, and this time the range is between C5 to C16. So the initial item cost is between that range, C5 to C16. Now quickly looking at even the highest within our initial item cost. So I'm clicking down here, it's 199.99, but if I quickly double left clicked, we can see that our range, the maximum, the highest amount for the initial item cost, it's a function max between the range 65 or C5 to C16. Keep in mind that we're never including within the range this total number. Okay, the range is only between C5 and C16. If I came over here and I said, well, what's the lowest amount for the item sale price? Well, the answer is 18.65, but the function that we're using, if we quickly double left click, is min, and the min is between the range D5 and D16. I know I seem to be belaboring a point about the range, but just for one last time, or hopefully one last time, we're going to look at this average function here, average D5 to D16, which is the average item sale price. Here's what I just want to kind of bring to mind once again. You can see that range. It does not, and I repeat, it does not include the total. I mean, that's one of the most common mistakes using functions within Excel, is to have someone put in or include a total when they're calculating an average or a highest or a lowest. Now in all cases, our range is always starting at row 5 and ending at row 16. Now there's one other way, or a probably more efficient way, of defining these ranges. And what it's called is creating a named range. So we're going to quickly go over how best to create a named range. A named range that would in fact show from row 5 to row 16. So one way of creating a named range is by highlighting your table. In this case, we're going to begin highlighting in A4, and I'm just going to go over to this point here. This is all I need. To G16. So we highlighted from A4 to G16. Now the reason why I started off at 4 is that I wanted to get these headers, but you're going to see this in a minute. So first step is to highlight your table. Next step is to click on Formulas. Then click on Create from Selection. We're going to get a dialog box. And in this case, what we need to have is a check mark next to top row and also left column. So here's that top row. Here's our left column. Click OK. Now you're going to probably say, well, what's happened? How do I know if I have a named range created? One way of doing it is by clicking on the Name Manager. And after clicking on that Name Manager, you can see that a number of named ranges have been created with the actual range for each of the selections. But I'm going to X out of that. I'm going to show you another way. So that's one way of looking at those newly created named ranges. So click X, we're going to get out of that. But another way of looking at our named ranges is by clicking up here in our name box, clicking on the down arrow, and let's click on Initial Item Cost. Click here, and look what's happened. That initial item cost has been defined. It's highlighted. Once again, it's picking out from row 5 to row 16. Let's go back. Click the down arrow, and let's get initial total profit. So we selected from the name box initial total profit, and once again, what's highlighted are the various total profits relating to each of the pots. But the main thing here is that, once again, it's between row 5 and row 16. Let's take one other one. Item sale price. Click on it. And once again, that row or the row range from 5 to 16 corresponding to our item sale price is all highlighted. So how we're going to use that is that we're going to use our function along with our named ranges. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here in this part of our spreadsheet in cell 05. And what I want to determine is the average of the quantity sold. We've already determined that 70. But we're going to do it a different way. We're going to do it a different way using named ranges. So here's how we do it. It's a function. We're going to type in equal. We're going to begin to type in average, A-V-E-R-A-G-E. Once again, now just by typing in AV, we have average here. Click on it. Hit the tab key. Basically what our function is saying now, average what? And what we're going to do next is we're going to take the average of our quantity sold. And basically that's going to be coming from one of our named ranges. We've already created a named range for quantity sold. And how you find it is we're going to type in Q here, and right off, Excel has found it. Quantity sold, this is a named range. We're going to tap our tab key and then hit our tab key again. And the answer is, if we quickly double left click it, it's telling us average, the named range, quantity sold. And that is our named range. Pretty powerful. Let's do a highest, which means max. Equal MAX. Excel has found our max function. We're now going to hit tab. And what we're looking for is that named range called quantity sold. That's the header there. Quantity sold. Hit our tab. Hit our tab again. Bingo, we got the same answer, 205. If we double check it by quickly double left clicking, bingo. It's showing us what our function is. It's max using the named range quantity sold. And I mean, here's your range. So I mean, it's a great way of double checking your work. Let's do lowest. Equal, it's min. We found min. I'm sorry, I have mid right here. We want to make sure we got min, M-I-N. Hit tab. Quantity sold. So you're going to type in or begin to type in quantity sold. Excel has already just found it by just typing in Q. That's what we're looking for. That's our named range. Tab. Once again, like it's even showing us what that range is. Tab again. And we're done. We'll do one other one. Let's do the average of our item cost. Equal. Average, A-V-E-R. Okay, so average, it's found it. Tab. And our named range is called initial item cost. So if I type in probably the first couple of letters, I-N, here it is right here, initial item cost. You want to click on it, tap the tab, tap it again. And if I quickly double left click it, it's actually showing me. I'm finding the average and that named range called initial item cost. This is the range for it. So once again, we're using functions in addition to using named ranges. Now, we're going to go to the next sheet, which is called average, min, and max. So we're on this new sheet, average, minimum, and maximum. I've already completed the first 3 of them because we did them on the other page. So we're going to populate the rest of these cells in the exact same way that we're doing a couple of minutes ago. We're going to be using our various functions, and then we're going to get the range for the functions based upon the named ranges that we've already created. This is going to be a little bit different in the sense that it's on a separate sheet. So in fact, what we're doing is we're also not only doing our functions using named ranges, but in fact we're also really creating a reference formula. So it's referring back to information on another sheet. And as we said during our last class, a reference formula, it's a formula. And it always begins with an equal. And it's basically a reference formula is getting its data usually from another sheet. So let's start off. Let's start off by, once again, getting a little bit more practice by clicking in our cell. We're in cell C5, equal sign. We're now doing an average. We actually did this during our last example. So equal, average, a named range. And the named range is the same as our header. Item, total sales. IT. You have to make sure we choose the right one. Item, total sales. Click on it. Tab, tab. Let's do each one down, okay? So we're going to concentrate on the item total sales first. So the header, once again, is item total sales, but it's also the name of the named range. And keeping in mind, once again, if you look back, if you're able to look back, we would find out that it's taking in that range row 5 to row 16. Equal sign. Highest means max. We're looking for item total sales. Tab, tab. Minimum, equal, MIN. So we have minimum, and our named range is item total sales. Now, our header now is item total cost, which is also, once again, it's going to be our named range. Equal, average. Named range is called item total cost. Tab. Still on item total cost, we're going to be finding a highest, which really means maximum. Equal, MAX. Item total cost. Tab. Equal, lowest, MIN. And the named range is item total cost. Tab. Lastly, item profit. equal average item profit, IT, so just by even typing in IT, item profit max item profit lastly the min. Let's quickly do some formatting here. These are all dollars and cents. So I'm going to highlight this area here. Home. Accounting format. Highlight this area here. Comma separated. And I'm just going to make that to 0 decimal places. Now, to double check, we can actually go down. We can start here. So this is telling us average of our quantity sold, max of our quantity sold, min of our quantity sold. So we're just double checking. Average of our item total sales, max of our total sales, and min of our total sales. Average of our total cost, max of our total cost, min of our total cost. Here's our min again of our profit, max of our profit, and average. So once again, what we've done here is that we've used our functions of average, minimum, and maximum, and we've used that in conjunction with named ranges, and we've also used reference formulas. Thank you.